welcome back to Book Stage and Screen with favourite two hosts, Gordon and Samantha.
That's probably the thing you'll hear the most this afternoon. That's Gordon's catchphrase. Yes, and we're here with the amazingly talented Jessica Skogstad.
Skogstad.
Yes, I think I've said it right up until you're right in front of me and I got it wrong. Dang. But welcome. And thank you so much for coming in, because this morning, what were you doing?
I was busy this morning launching my book at Altona Library.
Fantastic. So we love that you're, book launch in the morning, radio interview in the afternoon. It's the life of an author, isn't it?
Oh, it is, and I'm loving it.
Beautiful. Is this your first radio interview?
This is my third.
Oh, actually, you went into Joy.
Yeah,
yes,
I've been on Joy twice. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Well, you've come to your local radio station.
There's no joy here, unfortunately.
There is. Lots of joy here. But this is your local one because you live very close by.
Yeah, so I was born in Altona and raised in Altona Meadows, and I went to school in Altona. I worked in Altona up until finishing uni, so I'm definitely a true local.
Yes, yeah. Beautiful. We love a local author.
Can't get any more local than
that.
No,
you can't.
Born, bred, and now working here.
Now, so the book you were launching this morning was Enid and her two mums. Tell us a little bit about it.
So it's a children's picture book, and it's all about a young girl named Enid, and she's on her way to school in the morning, and she notices that her family looks a little bit different to the families that are around her. She notices that a lot of the other kids have a mum and a dad, whereas she's got two mums. So she kind of, being young and innocent, she gets a bit confused and wonders why she feels a bit different to the others. And as the day goes on, she goes on this journey and just looks around at all the other families, and she notices that there's single parents, there's a boy with two dads, there's all different sort of makeups of what a family is. Yeah. And then she realizes that it doesn't matter what your family looks like. The most important thing is that you're loved by them.
Yeah. It's a beautiful book and a beautiful message. I really like that. It's a simple message too, in the way that she's sort of figuring it out in her head, as a child would, as she's looking around. Because kids do sort of suddenly realize different things up until a certain point. Everyone's the same. It doesn't matter. You just take a play next to them, grab whatever they're playing with. And then I think that's when kids start, there's those stages where, especially I guess going to school, that they sort of look around and go, oh, you got red hair, I got brown hair, you've got two mums, I've got whatever the makeup, as you said. So it's a beautiful, simple story that would really resonate with kids. Is that what you found?
It is. I've had just a lot of positive feedback from it. It's got a personal connection to me. I've got a niece that has two mums.
Oh, lovely.
And it's basically like for her, and just to see how happy she is. She's 4 years old. When she reads it, when I read it to her, she, like, the way she connects with it, it just makes it worthwhile. And I just want to make sure that she understands that there is no normal. You've got a family that loves you, and that is the most important thing.
Yeah, beautiful.
Well, we can certainly vouch for there is no normal when you look at our families. My mum and dad are listening today, so there'll be a few jokes at their expense today.
And then you can write a book to explain it to them. Now, so what's your background in terms of writing books?
So this is my first book that I've had published. I do write as a hobby. I sit at home and write. I've had this novel that I've been kind of lazily been working on for the past few years. Having a baby kind of stopped me from working on that. But I used to spend my school holidays, just stay up, halfway through the night and type away and write some fiction. But this one's kind of my baby. Yeah. Yeah. I wrote it while I was on maternity leave. It was an ebook for about a year. And then I kind of got remotivated after meeting another Australian author at World Vegan Day. I got talking to her. She kind of gave me that push to start crowdfunding to just raise money to get it out there. And within 3 weeks I had reached my crowdfunding goal, and it was out in time for Christmas. So it all happened really fast in the end. But it's been something that I've been working on for quite some time now.
And the payoff is, as you said, a crowded book launch this morning.
Oh yes, it was really touching, to see all these people just there, and like just that positive response. I had a young girl came up during the launch while I was reading it and told the whole room that she's got 2 mums.
Aww.
And it was just perfect, a perfect experience.
Yeah, beautiful. And did you find it hard going from writing, I think, is it YA novels and that you've been writing before, to writing a children's book?
No, this just felt right. It just kind of happened. I used nap time for my baby, and I'd sit there and plan this out while he's sleeping, and just happened. It just was meant to be this book. It was a long time coming, and it just happened. Yeah,
that's great.
And we've had a few Ali's book authors in. How did you get in contact and talk us through?
A good friend of mine actually won a competition where she got, I think, 1 or 2 of the books that Ali had actually written herself.
Mm-hmm.
And she saw that I was crowdfunding to have it published, and she knew that I hadn't found a publisher as yet.
Right.
So she got me in touch with Ali, and just all flowed from there. As soon as we got in touch, I finished off my crowdfunding, gave everything to her, and then out came a book.
So tell us about your crowdfunding, because we're constantly hearing about crowdfunding for films, but books, that's sort of, well, not new, I've heard it before, but how did you approach it? Like, were you sort of, I don't even know how to do this, or?
Yeah, I knew that I had seen people raising money on GoFundMe. So I just I signed up on there, and I just started sharing the link. I didn't have many followers at this stage for the Facebook page for my book, but I was just utilising them and my friends. Yeah. And the next thing I knew, there was a local newspaper written about it. People were sharing the link, and then then the word spread. Every time I checked my email, I had a new email saying, "You've just got another donation." And it just, like, it was family, friends, but I had strangers donating too, and it was it was really nice to see that people had so much faith in the book. And like I said, within 3 weeks we had raised over $1,000, and that covered hiring an illustrator and most of the costs to actually sign on to have a publisher. So that was really really good. I couldn't have done it without the crowdfunding. All of the people that donated get a special mention on the last page of the book as well.
And there's a lot of them. So you've done well.
There's a huge list. There's also people bought it in pre-sale, because we had to pass pre-sale before getting it published as well. So all of those people got a special mention as well.
Okay. And so tell us about the illustrator.
So her name's Tara Reynolds, and I just put a little ad up online looking for an illustrator, and I just gave a brief description of what the story was about, and I had all these people contacting me. I'll do it fast, I'll do it cheap, blah blah blah. And I just thought, I'm not really feeling the chemistry with anyone yet. And then Tara sent me a message, and I looked through her portfolio, and I was actually drawn to all of the pictures that she had drawn for brochures. And she did these beautiful watercolor paintings, and I said, I know that those aren't for kids' books, but this is what I would love. It's just got that kind of, that what we associate with our childhood, the watercolors, the splashes, and I just loved it. I said, that's what I need my book to look like, and we had the chemistry to work together straight away. We hit it off. I actually made my husband buy me one of her other pieces of artwork for Christmas, because I love it so much. And like to this day, I'm still in touch with her, and we're already looking forward to writing and illustrating more together.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So will there be more adventures for Enid? Or?
I want to keep it all within Enid's world. Yep. So there's a lot of friends of Enid within the book, and actually something that I revealed today at the book launch was if you get all of Enid's friends' names and get the first letter from each one, it spells out same-sex parents.
Ah, that's smart.
So there's hidden codes.
Yes, there is an Easter egg.
Easter egg. Beautiful.
Well, the illustrator does have a very nice style. It's quite, professional, but it just reminds me of children's art in a way, but obviously a child can't. It's obvious, like a very, it's just, it's quite nice. It works well with the
colours too.
Really, very vibrant. Love it. It's great.
Yeah, I was really, the book could not have anyone else illustrate for it. It's to me, it's perfect with the way she's done it.
Yeah, the kids love this art, don't they?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. And she's actually located in Florida as well. So there was the whole working with the time difference thing. I'd wake up every morning and quickly check my emails. Has she sent me another one? And
oh, wow.
yeah, it was just a very exciting process. I feel for her because I think it was a lot of work and we had very limited time because I wanted to have it out for Christmas.
Ah,
so how many I didn't count, but how do you recall how many pictures there are that were done in total?
I think there was probably around 20, I would say, maybe a little bit less, 18.
And then how many days did you give?
Well, she was averaging one every 3 days at the start, and then towards the end she was averaging 3 every 1 day.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it got really intense for her, and but the quality is just amazing. She recorded videos while she was doing it, so I could actually watch videos of her painting them as well. Yeah, it was just a really it was a really cool experience.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. It's when you're a creative person, it's interesting. It's kind of figure that everyone works the same way, but obviously an illustrator works differently to a writer. So it's interesting when you, especially if she's videoing, that you can see the process, you know.
It was really special to be able to see it come to life.
Yes, yeah, in pictures. Did you have to say, oh, that's not really what I kind of wanted, or everything she did, you kind of went, oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, everything she did. I would kind of say, how about we put fireworks or love hearts around in this one?
Okay.
And then she'd draw it up. I'm like, oh, my gosh, it's like you read my mind and made it even better.
Oh, well, that's great. It's great that you've got, you know, especially if you're going forward with more kids' books, you've got someone to that you're already sort of in tune with.
Oh, for sure. That's and if we're going to keep it within Enid's world, I think it's really important to keep it with the same illustrator.
Yes, yeah.
We can't have it any other way.
No.
And how do people buy this book? Perfect gift for somebody if you know somebody's similar situation.
Well, you can buy it from my website. In a few weeks, it will be on Amazon and Book Depository, but at the moment, you can get it off my website. It's enidandher2mums.com and with the number 2. So Enid and her number 2 mums.com. And just you can pay by PayPal, bank deposit. I also sell it when I do events. Like on Tuesday next week, I'll be doing Family Pride Storytime at Williamstown Library.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's in the evening as well. Right. But yeah, if you just follow even my Facebook page, Enid and Her 2 Mums, I'm always posting about events whenever anything's going on.
Great.
Yeah.
And any hints as to what the next book's about?
There's about 3 or 4 that I want to get out. It all depends on what order I get them out in. But like I said, it will be within Enid's world. So once people read it, they'll kind of be able to pick where there's going to be another storyline.
Have people suggested storylines to you?
People have asked about the same sort of book but with 2 dads.
Okay.
And big hint, there is Stanley and his 2 dads in there. So I don't know. Maybe
No spoilers.
That's
No spoilers.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what's the feedback you've had from parents, same-sex parents?
Just a whole bunch of gratitude. I've had messages from parents saying that they teared up while they were reading it. It gave them goosebumps. They just are so thankful. They've thanked me for getting this out there, for being an ally, for sharing this story. And I know it's just a minor technicality, but with my niece, I got sick of everything that we wanted to get her that was about 2 mums. It was 2 moms, MOM.
Right.
And I was like, we need something Australian. So this is for the Aussies, for British people. It's mums, MUMS.
Yes.
In terms of negative feedback, there has been nothing. I had one little snide comment on Facebook from one person, and I brushed that one off. And other than that, it's just been amazing. There's just so much support in the community.
Yeah, as there should be, and it's a great little story. So, it should be read in classrooms, in the home, obviously, but classrooms as well, I think.
For sure. And that's something that I am doing. I'm actually starting from next week. Next week I'll be reading at a kinder.
Oh, great.
So I'll be going in and reading to those kids there.
Yeah.
And that's something that I would like to offer around, to go to schools. I would say primary schools more so than, than secondary, and kinders, and libraries, which I'm doing next week as well, to read it, to meet the kids, to talk about it. Because acceptance is something that kids can be, well, they are accepting anyway. So if you teach them to maintain that, that's a really important thing, because there's just so much negativity in the world. If we can bring these kids up to love one another instead of otherwise, it's just that's what I want. I want kids to just accept each other, and I want my son to grow up in a world where that's going on. I want my niece to grow up in that sort of a world.
Yeah, well, much better world if we all did that. It'd be great. So it's, again, the book is Enid and Her Two Mums. Jessica has been the author of this book. And so Facebook page, as you mentioned, and on I think we've put your...
Two Mums, number 2, and Ali's books. If you look up Ali's books, are you on...
You can even get it off there, on Ali's books website.
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous. Well, thanks so much for coming in today and talking about this fantastic book.
Thank you for having me.
You know when the next one comes out, you must come back and talk to us.
I promise.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you again.
Thanks very much.